welcome back to Blue Heart Craft Catch-Up episode number 93. Hello, my name is Abby. I live in the northwest of the UK, and on this channel I share the craftiness I've been up to during the week, mostly knitting and crochet. So yeah, let's get on to what I've been working on today, over the past week. So I'm not gonna lie, past week I've not been doing loads of knitting and crocheting. New software came out, the software I use for my family history. They brought out a new version of the software, so I was on like version 8 and they've introduced version 9. I have not decided whether I'm going to get version 9 or not, whether there's enough change in it for me to warrant buying a new one. That's my laptop over there. But basically, yeah, I've been going through a lot of genealogy groups, listening to, you know, what's new on the software, and it's also encouraged me to do a lot more genealogy over the past week, so I've had a lot of time taken up by that. So yeah, not as much crafting as I'd want to have got done, but I've got some stuff done, and I've also had some projects that have been a nightmare. I've had new projects that I've started. Do I need to start more projects? No, I've got hibernating whips that are hibernating because I'm like, let's get stuff finished before I carry on with them. But you'll understand when I get to it. So anyway, I have not got any FOs this week to show. I was hoping to show the Colin socks that I completed in the middle of February, but as I said in last week's, my sock blockers had broke and I needed to get new blockers. So I'd ordered them Saturday, and the latest date they were supposed to be here by is tomorrow. So I'm filming this Friday morning, so they were supposed to take a week max. They've not arrived today. We have had our post today, so it's definitely not coming today. So I've been holding off filming this morning to see if they arrive with the post today. The earliest date they should have got here was Wednesday, and I was hoping it was going to be more to the beginning side. But they didn't get dispatched till Tuesday anyway, so there's no way they were getting here by Wednesday. Yeah, so anyway, they're not here yet. But so I can't show that, because to actually see the pattern you do need to have them on sock blockers, sort of thing. So anyway, let's get on to the whips I've been working on. So speaking of socks, first whips I'll show you are socks. These are what ones are these? They're the Benedict socks. That I bought the Bridgerton season 2 sock book earlier on this year, or the end of last year, and so I am trying to get most of the socks too that I worked up this year. So I've decided to work on these. These are the Benedict socks, and I love the pattern on the front. The pattern on the back is a lot simpler to do. I don't really have to look at the pattern anymore to do the back. The front, I do need to look at the front to get the counts on what stitches are going where. But for the most part, the back, I actually don't need to look anymore. I just need to know what row I'm on, but you can see that by looking at the front of the pattern. Yeah, and I'm really liking how they are working up. I'm doing the smaller size. The smaller size, I believe, is 64 stitches. And I do socks on 2.5mm needles, and I find with my tension 60 stitches is ideal for me, so 64 is not too bad. I am going to be switching out the heel on this and doing a shadow wrap heel. I just really don't like the heel flap and gusset. I personally, when I'm picking up stitches, it creates ridges, and I don't like the feel of that in my socks, and I don't think it looks as neat for me as a heel flap and gusset. I do prefer toe up socks rather than cuff down, but with the pattern I didn't know how it would correlate with being toe up if I switched it around, so that's why I have done the cuff down. But I think they're looking okay at the moment. The yarn I'm using is Drop Snored in the shade 81. I don't know if you can see, but there is a lot of halo and fuzz on them already, and that is just me working them up. In the ball, they're not looking too bad. Like, sorry, I've got a piece of hair there and a piece of hair there because I melt everywhere. But on the balls themselves, they don't actually look too bad. But when you work them up, they are fuzzing really bad. So I saw Alex of my Yarny Corner in one of her March vlogs. Someone had sent her, one of her friends had sent her a tool that you use to get pilling off your socks. So I'm going to order that, I think. I mean, pilling off any type of knitwear that you make or crochet wear. So I'm going to get that because I think my friend's blanket could also do with it. So I'm going to get it, see how it looks, see how it works on the projects and that. But yeah, overall I am liking it. I don't know whether the yarn is my favourite because it is it is getting really halo-y as I'm working up with it. Yeah, and I just put it in my bag when I'm not using it, and I'm not rough with the yarn or anything, and there is quite a big halo. But anyway, so my next work in project is the jumper I am making for my nieces. So this one's the older jumper. So I have officially finished one sleeve, and to be honest, now that I've got one sleeve done, it will be a lot easier getting the other sleeve done. As you can see, it's going to be like that, because you have to count and put so many increases in. You're constantly having to go back and check with the pattern with how many increases you need to do, when you need to do them increases, because like I think at one point it's like every like 8 rows, and then it goes to like every 4 rows. The increases, they differ, and you've got to do like about, you know, 10 sets where it's like about 6 stitches in between, and then you do like 4 sets where they increase like 4 stitches between. I don't know exactly, I can't remember exactly how many is the gap or how many of each you do. And I'm not going to check because there's a paper pattern, it is in a book, it's in the Sirdar Kids Brights book. But yeah, so that is why it, and then you've just got to do a bit where you're not decreasing, but you've got to be measuring it constantly to make sure you get it the right length. So the first sleeve's a lot of like referencing the pattern and measuring, whereas what I was doing is when I was doing the first sleeve, I made notes about where these increases had to be, at what number stripe they'll finish at, etc., and you know how many stripes in total will be. So it'll be a lot easier doing the second sleeve. I've just got to follow my notes then that I've made going along. So I've got the one sleeve finished completely. That purple stripe there was where I was at when you saw me last week, and I've got this much done of the second sleeve. So I'd got up to that purple stripe there anyway beforehand, because at first I tried doing them both at the same time. Then I realised, nope, that wasn't working for me, I just need to do the one at one time. So yeah, that's why I decided to stop that, but I'd at least done one repeat to the colours anyway. So I had that base started off for me. So the yarns I'm using yarns that were from my stash. So the grey is Paint Box yarn in Misty Grey. The blue is a Home and Bargains yarn, and then the rest is Stylecraft Special DK. So I'll hold it up here. So the red is Matador, the orange is Jaffa, yellow is Citron, green is Grass Green, and the purple is Proper Purple. So I've been working on that. I'm using 4mm needles. Hopefully in the next week or so I can get the jumpers completely finished. They were supposed to be Christmas gifts and it's March, but I think we all know Christmas got a bit hectic. And then February no crafting happened in, well, barely any. Anyway, yeah, because I'm actually keeping track of how much yards of yarn I use up each month, and the amount that I used up in January compared to the amount I used up in February is massive. I don't have any idea of what I've used up in March at the moment, because what I do is I'll weigh like a ball of yarn or a project, depending on how it is that I'm doing it. I'll weigh it, you know, before and then once I finished it. So because I've not finished a lot, so like with the fairy doll that I am doing, I am so I'll weigh the colours individually. So the peach and the cream, I know how much I've used of that, but the colours for the cardigan, wings and hair, I don't know because I've not used it all yet. So that's what I mean by I don't have an accurate gauge yet, because most of the projects that I'm working on, I've still got quite a bit to work on. Anyway, so yeah, that is the cardigan. Good progress on that. I'm glad it's getting there. The next project I worked on, it has been the nightmare project this week. It has been the project that has been driving me insane. And what it is it's the Black Thorn fairy from the Simply Crochet Fairies calendar. I got the magazine in December, I believe it was, and it came with the calendar, and there's fairies for every month of the year. So this is February's fairy, which is the Black Thorn fairy, I believe. So last week I'd completely done the body, I just had to do the hair, cardigan and wings. I thought, easy, I'll get it done that week, especially as the hair actually wasn't a lot of crocheting, it was mostly just sewing the hair on. But the way they sewed the hair on, it's not very secure, and I went and had a little look at YouTube tutorials, because I don't normally do hair like that. Most of the hair I normally do is something like a wig cap with like bits added on and things like that. So I went and had a little look at the tutorial. I went and had a look at tutorials of people doing the exact same way, and I was doing it right. It's just I find that method's not very secure, and while I am not planning to give these fairies to kids, I am mindful that I have, like, you know, young kids in my family who will, you know, could see the fairies, and I want them to be able to play with things without me being precious over them and going, no, you can't touch that, because I don't want all the hair falling out of, like, essentially. So I have decided to do the hair on my own, and it took, so this was an entire day and a half's work just on this fairy's hair. And what I actually have to show is not a lot, because as I said, what happened was I tried to do the hair as in the pattern, it was not working very well. I thought, okay, put it down, come back to it. So I put it down and went back to it. Then I was watching tutorials and I was just copying again off the tutorials. So I must have redone this hair about 5 times alone. And then I was, you know, I googled like crochet dolls, and I was looking at the styles, and I was trying to sort of see what I wanted on this doll. So what I've ended up going for is this. So I'm probably gonna do about 2, maybe 3 of these, and that's what it is looking at the moment. So what I did was I created a slip knot and I chained around 31, then single crocheted in the second chain from the hook and went all the way across. Once I got to the final chain, I then chained about another 30, and then once again single crochet in the second chain from the hook and single crocheted in every chain. And that is simply what I have been doing across this whole strip here. But I have been varying up the lengths just to, you know, I'm counting, but if I miscount, I'm not going back and having a little look. I'm varying it up, just, you know, mix it here. So what I'm thinking is I may put it round the doll, so like this is the doll's head. I might put one, oops, got yarn here, so I might attach it around the doll like that, but then at the same time I might sew a strip together like that, so fold it in half and sew it up, and then sew it on the top and have it fall down. That's what I'm thinking I might do at the moment. That is the current plan of action. Who knows what's gonna happen? Because yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna have to, it's trial and error and see if it works. And yeah, that's it. The yarn I'm using is this brown yarn. I don't have a clue what this brown yarn is. It's some brown yarn I've got in my stash. It's not exactly the softest. I only have this one ball, so I use it on quite a lot of hairs for like amigurumis, or if I need a little bit of brown, sometimes a bit ideal on it. And I am really enjoying the fairies. I do like how they're done, like the style. They are pretty okay. They're not exceptionally difficult, but I will say the shaping on the face, particularly around the bottom of the face and the chin area, that is a bit unusual from what I've seen, and that is the bit I think if you are more of a beginner amigurumi maker, that might be the bit you struggle on. But then the hair, I found on both the holly pattern, holly fairy pattern, and the black thorn fairy pattern, I've not liked the hair on either. The holly one, I feel like it literally was very vague. It just said attach the hair here, and I attached the hair on, and then it didn't tell you how to get it to look like the one in the picture, so I sort of had to just improvise and make it on my own, really. Yeah, I think it said like attach your hair like this and then style, and I'm like, not very good instructions. And then the hair on this pattern has not been my favourite type of way to do hair, but again, this type of way of doing hair that it was in the pattern, there are other patterns that use it, so it's not like, you know, it's limited to just this pattern. Anyway, I'm sidetracking, and my final whip has been a brand new whip. The whip that, you know, you may be looking at and going, Abby, do you really need another whip? But it makes sense why I'm doing this. You see, the knit and natter that I used to go to before I started my job, I still try and go to now. It just depends on if I've got time off. If I'm off on the day that the knit and natter's on, I will try and go. And this time when I was going, I was having a look at my projects and I was thinking, right, okay, what's easy and portable? The easiest one would have been this. However, I was having to count the stitches, and also I needed to take like 6 balls of yarn with this. Didn't want to carry that. Again, with the doll, it was going to be a lot of balls, things like that. The socks, I needed to focus on the pattern. The friend's blanket was massive. The book blanket I showed last week, again, loads of different parts on. I've had to take quite a few bits of like different balls. So what I decided to do was, I'm part of my Yarny Corner Patreon, and the level I'm at, you get a minis every month. Now I believe I have 6 minis so far, and I've already planned what I wanted to do with the minis, and I was like, right, okay, I've got 6 balls here. I have got literally 120 grams here, I believe. So I should probably start getting a bit of work on them. And the blanket that I wanted to do with them was something that was that you don't really have to focus too much on the pattern. Once you sort of read the pattern, once you get it. So I decided to take that with me and start that. So this was the first one, the Patreon mini. This was, I want to say, October 2022. Yeah, so there's October, November, December, January, February, March. That's the 6th, yeah. So this is October. I've had to start writing when they come in, what ones they are, because it got to January, and I was waiting for the January one to come, and I was like, okay, I remember which one was October, but what one was November and what one was December. So I had to go back in my videos and watch which one I opened in December, and, you know, find out from there. So, yeah, I found out which one I was getting, which one I had, and, yeah, I've started writing on the ball bands when they come in. That's the inside there, starting to fall out a bit because it's getting small. But, yeah, I've started writing on the insides now. Started writing on the ball bands now when they come in, what colour they are. I believe some of them have been colours they've done in the shops, but I believe some are Patreon only. They're only getting done for the minis. And and this is what I've decided to start working up on them. How amazing is the pool in there on that side? I mean, that is so cool. I love how it came out. I mean, that is amazing there, the way it's come out. So what I am doing with this is what's called the 10 stitch blanket. Now there's a knit version, there's a crochet version. I believe there's also a Tunisian crochet version. I'm doing the crochet version, and I'm doing the not 10 stitch. Mine, I believe, is 20 stitch. So if you have a little look at the blanket, it tells you like you start with 10 stitches, and that's how most of the row is. But because I'm using 2.5mm hook, and this is fingering weight yarn, I decided to make it 20 stitches. It also means that I'm not having to constantly turn the work over every like 10 stitches, because that would drive me mad. Yeah, so that is, so I've just altered the stitch count on it. That's all I have done. Yeah, and what the blanket is it goes round in like, it's like a spiral. So as you can see here, I started down here, we've gone up, and then we've gone round, and we're going to go down here, and then we'll go under where I started here and come out round this side, go up, and then round, down, and we're just going to keep going like that in a square until it gets as big as you want. And that's why I thought this would be ideal for the Patreon minis, because I just do it however big I want. At the moment it is tiny, it's nowhere near blanket size, but yeah, I just love how it turned out with the colour pool in there, and that is why I am so made up that I decided to switch to 20 stitches, because it's come out like that, and I think it is amazing. I'm in love with it. So yeah, that was my cast on, and I think it's a justified cast on. But yeah, that's all. Oh, not all actually, I've got to show you one more final project, my friend's blanket. So it is all officially joined up. I'll have to try and take a picture of it this morning. When I was editing the video last time, I could not find a picture of it at all on my computer, nothing. So I think my mum filmed a video of me the other day with it, so holding it up, so I'll have to ask if she can send me that. Ta-da! You can stop now, Mum.
What about the reverse?
What? Buddy! No! No! Buddy! It is getting there. I am on the 3rd row of border out of 5. So it takes around 2 hours to get around the border at the moment. But the last border will then take a bit longer, because the border I'm using now uses like single crochets, and the 5th round of the border we use double. So yeah, but I am just made up that this pattern is finally getting done, because I'm so proud of it. I absolutely adore it. And I was saying the other night, I must be glutton for punishment, because I already have another corner to corner grafting that I want to do next. But yeah, I've got actually, I can't start it once I finish this friend's blanket, because I've got another blanket I need to finish. So yeah, that's where we're at with it all. But yeah, I'm absolutely, I just love it. I just think it's coming out great, and can't wait to get it done. It is the Friends themed cowl blanket by Chaos and Chop Suey. The pattern is on the pricey side, but I highly recommend it. It is very detailed. It has colourways for, I believe it's I Love This Yarn, Red Hot Super Saver, and Stylecraft Special DK, which is great, because I believe them yarns are available, like some of them yarns are available in the US, some are in the UK, you know, whereas like quite a lot of patterns I find the yarns that they recommend are either easily available in one or the other. So I think that's great. There's, again, I did not use all the graphs. There's extra graphs for you to be able to switch in and out. And then there's a Facebook group, and then there's also actually a in the Facebook group user submitted graphs, so graphs that people have designed themselves that they've submitted it. But yeah, highly recommend the pattern. It is absolutely amazing and I love it. So that's the blanket. Hopefully you can get it done. Fingers crossed by the end of this month it'll be done. I would love it if I could get it done for the end of this week, but I don't know if that's a bit too optimistic. Anyway, so that's all the knitting and crocheting. I've got to show you a few other crafty related things, life related things. So I had a bit of happy mail this week. I got a lovely postcard from Denmark from Cassandra of Craftably Ever After. If you've never checked out Cassandra's channel, go and do. She creates amazing patterns as well. She's a very talented amigurumi designer. I have done one of her patterns before. I believe it was the Patchy Bear. I think it was Patchwork Bear or something I made. But he's incredibly cute, very good patterns. And I loved the stamps that came on it. They are so fancy. Here in the UK, we do have like, the majority of our stamps have either the late Queen's head on, or they are now newer ones are going to be coming out with the King's head on. And you do get occasionally like fancy ones, but they're not like international. So to be able to see them, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, keeping the envelope as well. So that was lovely, and actually stuck to the postcard. Cassandra sent a Danish kroner, and it has a hole in, and there was a light bulb pin in, so that is what I've used on here. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There's one side of it, there's the other, and I think it's absolutely so cool. I do collect postcards, so this postcard's going to go on my wall with my other postcards. So that was my little bit of happy surprise mail that arrived this week. The next bit of crafty news is that this video is going up today on Friday, but if you are in the Merseyside, Liverpool area, I have posted about this on Instagram, but there is a craft meet getting held on Saturday, tomorrow, which I'm going to get the date, is the 18th, in the Anglican Cathedral in Liverpool. If you are around in the area, I'd highly recommend this event. I went to this event when they did it. I went to the event last year, I think it was, when they did it, and I did a vlog, so I might actually put the vlog I did last year up on this channel to for you to see what I got up to last year at this vlog, at this, you know, meetup. It is an absolute beautiful cathedral. Both the cathedrals in Liverpool are beautiful. We have like the Anglican, which is Church of England, and we have the Catholic one. Now, I'm a Catholic, but I will say that the Catholic cathedral from the outside looks hideous, but on the inside it is beautiful. It is very deceptive, but the Anglican cathedral is like beautiful on the outside and the inside, and it's where I did my graduation, so it holds a lot of memories for me. But yeah, this craft meet is absolutely amazing. You can take any craft you want. I will try and link it in the description box. If you can't make this one, keep an eye out, because they do them, I think they do them a couple of times a year, so definitely keep an eye out. Yeah, and I again highly recommend them. Hello, Charles. He's coming in to be nosy now, but he's sat up in his crate because that's where his old bed is, and at times he's a little stubborn bugger and still not going in the new bed. Other times he's fine with it. Ooh, dog. So that's the craft update. For life update, all my blood, I've got to go again for more blood tests, and this is a they think they've narrowed it down to 3 possible conditions that are causing my symptoms at the moment. My blood tests and samples and all that have come back to say, you know, it's indicating, and narrowed it down to around 3, they reckon. So my doctors have referred me on to gastroenterology. However, just to like make sure that, you know, they rule everything out, to give it more weight to gastroenterology, saying, yeah, okay, we will definitely take this case on and look into it. They are getting me to do some more blood tests, and sorry about that. Yeah, so they're going to be doing just a couple more blood tests that need to get done. I'm booked in a couple of weeks time, but the referral's gone anyway. This is just just to make sure to rule absolutely everything out. But to be honest, the things that they're testing for, it's very unlikely. And as I said, the other blood tests have come back indicating symptoms wise it's something else, but they've just got to rule everything out basically. So yeah, it's all going okay. The one result I was very nervous about getting back, that's come back fine. We definitely know it's not that. So to be honest, I don't mind what they say it is going forward. That's the main thing, that's sorted. It's not that, that's the thing I'm fine about. So yeah, and wandering about everywhere. 1 minute wants to be in my face, next minute he's, yeah. But yeah, so that's how that's all come back like that, and it's okay. But I just wanted to give everyone an update because I know a lot of people did send me a lot of kind wishes and things like that. So yeah, thank you, it's all going okay. And yes, some results have not come back perfect or in a good range, but it is giving us an indication of what is up. We knew there were going to be some results that came back saying there's something going on because of the symptoms. However, at least it's not the one I was dreading. That's the thing, that's the main thing. But anyway, I'm going to go get this edited. Probably go and switch my computer on and update the Sims. Like, do you mind? He's just climbing all over me here. He'll walk behind me and then come in front of me, climb over my legs and go out. So yeah, I'm gonna go get this edited, get this rendered, and once it's rendered I can update my Sims because there's been an old update and I'm just so excited for this update. And yeah, I'm very excited for the update. So yeah, but I'll have to update it when it's not getting rendered on my laptop because I don't want to overpower my laptop. So yeah, anyway, hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hope you're staying safe and taking care, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.